It's funny. I oftentimes will look at a young kid who looks disheveled and doesn't look organized, and I want to go in and become like their parents and take over. And I think a lot of us would love to do that with some of these countries that just don't have economic footing and backing to really grow. Another real issue, you talked about inflation for these countries, but fertilizer supply chain on furniture has become a problem for a lot of these countries. Michelle, is the war disrupting the fertilizer supply? And we talked about this in our last podcast, and now it's starting to make it into the headlines. So we were a little ahead of the time talking about fertilizer inflation. But what does that do to a country's balance sheet?
If you're more agriculturally focused and you're dependent upon exporting whatever crops your country produces, if you don't have fertilizer, that's going to reduce your production of those crops a lot. And so you're going to have less to produce. Now, from what I understand, there's a lot of nitrogen that goes through the Strait of Hormuz, and that's used probably with almost 60% of crops. So it's critical that we start to see some progress on phosphorus and nitrogen and other fertilizers starting to get through that area, or they're going to have to find an alternative. If they don't, there's going to be a lot less production, could be as much as 40% hit for some agricultural countries.
And it's ironic that Ukraine is a big supplier of fertilizer.
Yes.